There's always a big wintertime shad kill in most lakes across the country, and this Dyna Response resembles that perfectly. A little dying shad struggling down there, and the bass will come out and hammer the thing. Another thing about this thing that's cool is if you've ever noticed a lot of the shad in the wintertime, this is about the size they are after they spawned in the summertime. So it's about 1.25 inches or something like that, just a little over 1 inch. And God, they just absolutely love this thing, especially if you got some spotted bass in the lake you fish. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about how to fish it and the type of areas that you want to fish it in. Now, like I said, this is a vertical bait, although you don't have to be completely vertical on it. In fact, I'm going to get a rod here and I'm going to sort of show you how I like to go about fishing the thing. I fish it both vertical and sort of like at a 45-degree angle, but I don't cast it and reel it through the water column. I'm jerking it off the bottom or jerking it for suspended fish, depending upon how the fish are set up. How exactly you want to work this thing first. Okay, now what I do, the technique that I use in it is like this. I will get into the area that I'm fishing. We'll talk a little bit in a second, and I'll pitch the Dyna Response maybe 20 foot out in front of the boat. And the boat is slowly moving forward, so I pitch it out there, and I strip the line down to the depth that I want the bait to go down. And then once I do that, I hold the rod like this. I hold my right hand on the trigger there, and I've got my left hand above the reel, and I'm popping it up like that. I'll just jerk it up like that, almost like a jigging spoon. You don't want to do it real fast or real high. You want to try to jerk it up maybe a foot or two off the bottom, just about like that, and follow the line down. It's like you don't want to drop it on a slack line, or the hooks will get fouled on the bait if you get too much slack on there. But it's going to be, when you do that, it's going to be going up like this and down, this and down. And the reason that I pitch it out in front of the boat like that is as my boat's moving forward and I'm stripping line out, by the time that I get the bait to the bottom, a lot of times the bait is pretty much vertical under the boat. So I'm just popping it up vertical like that, right underneath the boat. Sometimes, I'll drop it, I'll just free spool it straight down, let it go straight down and pop it up vertical off the bottom if I know specifically where the fish are at. Okay, so here's what I'm looking for on this. This is the area that you want to fish these baits are critical, because since you are fishing vertical over the fish, you've got to be right on the fish. You're not looking for fish with this thing a lot of times. You've got to be confident that there's fish in the area. So this is what I do before I fish, this Dyna Response anywhere that I'm fishing, and I'll talk about the areas in a second. I always want to